There is a graveyard of podcasts and YouTube channels out there for people who said that they wanted to do it and then they just abandoned it because they didn't get that like short-term gratification. When MrBeast put out his 100th video, he had 760 subscribers. It's the staying power of you just keep doing it. You keep being consistent. People come for the content, they stay for the personality, they stay for the story, and that's what keeps them coming back. If they're gonna go to YouTube, they need to hear something that they haven't heard before. So how do we play the game with YouTube? It sounds like if you're gonna work with the owners, you need to create content that you're gonna attract owners that are just as excited or interested in creating that kind of experience. But they might not even know that that's possible unless they come across your content and see your passion that's just infectious, that then they realize that that's possible and go, oh, well, she's the one that's gonna help me to do that. And then even your content, like telling those stories in a way that they see you light up, or giving examples, or even in the content where like maybe you like drop some Easter eggs in your videos that makes it really interactive. First of all, how are the guides selling?
They're not great.
Okay, you could always test it and you could turn into a lead magnet, see if that works. They could just like opt in, opt in, opt in, opt in.
Yeah,
There a course that they could watch or a video series of like, here's the best ways to save and how to plan this yourself, like a DIY planner. But then if you want me to plan it for you, then let's book a call. Keep it on the channel where it is now, but like if you love long form, just double down on long form. Most people won't stick to long form content. I think that entrepreneurs, they want to put something out and if it doesn't get a quick response, they're like, oh, this doesn't work, I'm out of here. It's the staying power of you just keep doing it. You keep being consistent. There is a graveyard of podcasts and YouTube channels out there for people who said that they wanted to do it and then they just abandoned it because they didn't get that like short-term gratification. MrBeast, who now has over 300 million subscribers, if you ever watch interviews about him, you'll hear him say over and over, I just want to make the best videos possible. I just want to make the best. Like that's his intention. And yes, when he was a young teenager in his bedroom making videos and skipping school to build a YouTube channel, he's like, I want to get 100,000 subscribers, amazing. But he was obsessed with making videos. When MrBeast put out his 100th video, how many subscribers would you guess that he had? He had 760 subscribers. If you put out 100 videos and you're like, my goal is 100,000 subscribers and you only had 760, would you keep doing it? Like some people just really wouldn't. And it's okay to admit, like I've put a lot of effort into this and I'm not anywhere where I need to be. You question like, am I gonna keep doing this? Is it worth it? Should I try something else? Like take the skills that I learned, apply it to something different. Look at him now. He's 300 million subscribers and donating to so many amazing causes, but he wouldn't have continued if he didn't love doing it. Well, a paid lead magnet is called a low ticket offer. It's not a lead magnet anymore. It could be $7, it could be $14, it could be $40, it could be $97, and you can totally do that. What I would recommend, there's a few ways that you can do this. In your videos, you can still have a freebie, and then after they opt in, you can have what we call a tripwire. On the thank you page, it's like, hey, here's my ebook on how to assess your health, blah, 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 whatever. And then on the thank you page could be like, also, I have this video series that will teach you how to detox and whatever kind of health thing that might be the next step for them. It's only $7. Only available here. Click the link to buy that right now. Because a customer that qualifies themselves by holding up their hands with a credit card, like someone that opted in, they're like, yes, I'm interested. But if they say, yes, I'm interested with a credit card, they're more likely to keep buying, even if it's only $1 right there. We just want to build our email list from YouTube. So I would keep doing free because then once they get on the email list, that's where you keep nurturing them towards a paid offer. I have had paid offers on my channel. I had a challenge that was $47 and I was like, hey, the next thing that you're going to need, I only teach to my paid clients that pay me $10,000. However, I have a challenge that, as you can see here, I point up, there's a screenshot and it's like, this person made $3,000 in 3 weeks following this. I'm only gonna sell it for $47. Click the link below. It doesn't get as much conversions because you're gonna get more people that are gonna convert for free from YouTube. Keep in mind though, anything that you do sell from YouTube, we want it to be evergreen. Not everyone, if they see you for the first time, is gonna go, yeah, I'll buy that thing. They need to see you a few times, even if they're gonna put down $7. Yes, there's a much bigger difference between free and paid, but they have to come in from the free stuff before they're gonna pay. Build your email list. Like just keep giving out a ton of free value, but then the tripwires, the upsells, the emails with a quick offer, that's where you start to get in those people that qualify themselves. And you're gonna have a big list of people that may never ever buy. And that's totally fine. Then bless them with a ton of value and maybe they'll also tell their friends about you, but then you just created so much goodwill in the market. My favorite camera right now is the Osmo Pocket. It's so easy to film with and bring anywhere. Yeah, I mean, you can totally make videos based on what other people are searching for. However, I think that nowadays the content we need to make is more curiosity-based. If you open up your YouTube, what is your homepage? Is it how-to videos? Or is it like entertainment or something with curiosity and hook? Probably more likely that. And I think that that's what's gonna create an audience that keeps coming back for more. You want your calls to action on YouTube to be evergreen. I used to have a lead magnet that was a Twitter guide, but I don't teach Twitter anymore. So what I've done is I could easily change the lead magnet to be like, hey, if you like Twitter, you can make more money on YouTube, I believe. So I changed the lead magnet. Here's the link to go get that. If I have a lead magnet that's like, come to my webinar next Friday, and they see it 5 years later, I've lost them. So we want to have a lead magnet that can be evergreen or changeable if something changes. We have a mastermind. We also have a coaching program. We have some other low ticket courses. And then I also do have YouTube agency with a business partner. Full done for you. We create the strategy. We help you with what to say, how to script it, your content personality syncing, like how you show up on camera. We can even do remote filming with you, because a lot of times the big thing for people is, what do I say? And I got to script it. It's going to take me forever. We just interview you over Zoom or Riverside and pull out the content and be like, oh, that was great. Say it like this. Like, here's the hook. Here's the better way to say it. And then we just edit that content. We produce all of it, edit all of it, put it on YouTube, title, thumbnail, keep optimizing it. The cool thing about the way that we do it is, I think some agencies, they'll just like post it on YouTube and walk away. We're actively managing it, like hour by hour. We're like, okay, we need to switch the title. We need to switch the thumbnail. And like, we want it to keep growing and then see what's working, so we can go back to you and go, hey, the audience likes this. Next week, let's make a video on these things, or see what's current. The Super Bowl just happened. Is there a way we can tie in Super Bowl news into your business, your expertise kind of thing? I can never say like, oh yeah, you'll work with us and in 2 weeks you'll have 100,000 subscribers. I can never say that, but also there's people that they grow slowly, but they monetize a lot more on the back end because they're bringing in the right audience. We have clients that we created viral strategies that they grew like 25,000 subscribers quickly. We have clients that have reached hundreds of thousands, millions of subscribers. You have to be committed to it. Like, the best clients are the ones that will do what we tell them to, that they're committed to the process and not to like, you told me we were gonna get 100,000 subscribers. I would never tell someone that. We want it to also be ROI based, that you're bringing in the right leads. I would double down on the topic. Your audience clearly liked that topic. Make more on that topic so that it's basically like a sequel, and just keep doing that until you burn it out. There was a controversial topic. If you can get people in the comments that have differing views, let them go to town on it. So think about other topics that could also be something like, I don't know, something that came up just off the top of my mind is like RFK was just confirmed. Some people love him, some people hate him. If you talked about that in your content, you might have people blowing up in the comments over that as well. Now just choose whatever trigger word. Maybe it's something related to the lead magnet. So when you put it into ManyChat, like for example, I did a video, or it was like profit with video ebook, and I made the keyword profit video or something like that. I selected what word I wanted it to be. You just have to connect it to the platform. If you have the capacity to make both, people will watch both. I also believe that your audience is in a different frame of mind when they're watching short form versus long form. Like, people, when they're watching long form, they're typically like more invested in the content. They want to pay attention to it. A lead magnet is a freebie. So if you're like, click the link below to get my ebook or get my checklist, and they have to sign up for that and get onto an email list to get it. I think that I needed to figure out what my voice was online. And I think a lot of people get this, where camera turns on, they turn into a news anchor. Hello, welcome to my channel. I would read from a teleprompter and it would be so scripted that it didn't leave room for me to just like connect and tell stories or be silly or like flub on my words and show that I'm human. Now I just have my bullet points. I'll follow them, but sometimes I might miss them and I'll like go on a tangent and tell a story that is just real. Like, people want to see real. Sometimes when influencers are like, I gotta have a set and a studio and fancier camera equipment. Like, I know of a client that she got a studio, she got this fancy stuff, and her content before, when she was like filming on the floor of her closet, converted and got such better reaction because it was just real. When we create a brand that is disruptive, we need to have a cause, and we also need to have an enemy and an identity. I had a guy, I think it was like Armed and Badly. I think that was his name in it. And so the enemy of that, it was like weak dads or people that weren't able to protect their family. For you, what's the identity that they can name themselves? I'm a this dad. What's the enemy that you're creating against? Because if it's just like, hey, here's how to be a better dad, they need to have some kind of a transformation to go, that's the enemy that I never want to be like, and here's the identity that I am desperate to become and will never leave this community. Like Funnel Hackers. Funnel Hackers has such an emotional pull behind it that we need something like that.